Welcome to episode 8 of Cox-tales podcast, where I have conversations with friends over cocktails, or in this instance, beer. I am joined by CSU quarterback Collin today. It's a privilege.
It's great to be here. Never been to Black.
Oh yeah, we are drinking at Black Bottle Brewery outside, so that's why there's random noises. And I'm drinking Say Wheat again, and Collin doesn't know what he's drinking, so he's going to check the menu.
Yeah, I'm going to check the menu. It's the American Amber or something. So
Yeah, standard beer. It's nice though. Cheers. To a nice sunny day outside in Colorado after Snowpocalypse V2 last week.
Holy cow.
Don't you have snow in North Carolina though? Or South Carolina? The Carolinas?
Sometimes, but not like freaking April.
True.
Not 5 inches in April.
There'll be another one. But no, as always, start us off. Describe yourself with an event.
It's a great question.
He hasn't thought about this at all, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I would say I would describe myself as like a baseball game. It comes off as pretty boring, but it's got potential to be fun.
Nice, simple, to the point. Love it. This is basically going to all be about football, so if you don't like football, click off now. But we're going to start with, we're going way back in the day to young Collin, who is probably still taller than me. When did you know you were better than others in football? Or when did you get told? Maybe you didn't know.
I was told in the 4th grade by an opposing coach that I had a lot of potential, and he thought that I could play at the next level and stuff. But
Isn't the next level from then high school?
yeah, it was high. Exactly, it was high school, and I was like, all right. And I thought, whatever.
Were you always the quarterback?
I was. So I became quarterback. I wanted to play receiver because I thought I was going to do that really fast, but I'm not. And basically, the quarterback kept fumbling the snap, and so then they just was like, "Hey, you come here," and I got the snap, and that's why I was quarterback.
You got the quarterback because someone else was bad at their job.
Pretty much. I was.
So were you receiver before that, or were you backup quarterback?
I was like receiver/backup.
So you were second team.
Pretty much, yeah, because I was like, I don't want to.
You were put in wherever.
I was like, it's boring. I don't want to do that. And then one practice, they just
Boring. You always get the ball.
I didn't realize that then. Then I was like, watching.
You wanted to go score the touchdowns, but you didn't realize that you were throwing all the touchdowns if you had another.
Exactly. I was like, quarterbacks are losers. I don't want to do that. But here we are.
So that's when you knew you were better than others. When did you know you could make it to college for football?
See, I didn't play varsity till like my junior year, but I thought around my sophomore year when I hit like 6'3", 6'4", I was like, I probably have a shot.
Just because you were bigger? Just
because of my height, it's like the standard height. So I was like, I got a shot, and then my junior year for sure was when I was like, I think I can, at least play somewhere.
At least go to somewhere.
Right.
Were you always thinking D1?
I didn't know. I wasn't sure, and then obviously, once I got an offer, I was like, okay, I guess I can belong there. But that was like the goal. But at that point in time, I didn't really know.
So then, how was the whole college recruiting thing and choosing where to go for you personally?
It was awful. I hated it, dude. It was like
because you didn't want to make the decision, or because the decision was hard. Or both?
Both. It's hard to figure out
where you think you're going to fit in.
Where you think you're going to fit in, and then who's for real and who's not.
Who's just really good on giving speeches and a one-time visit and actually a crap coach or something.
You'll see one side of the person when they come to your high school, and then if you go to campus, it's just oh hey, what's up? And they're gone.
Or you might really like someone, and then you go to their school, and they're like, oh, he's a bitch. What's the lens?
Exactly. Yeah. So that part filling it out's hard, but. It was stressful for me, but I didn't have a ton of offers. It was really between here and Marshall, and took a visit out here and loved it.
The school or the place?
I really liked the coaches because I knew Coach Bobo from Georgia, and then I liked the offense.
You were already here before that, weren't you? Was he? Oh no, that was the first year because he did 1 year in.
He was 1 year in.
He did 1 year at Hughes.
Yes. Or no, 2 years. He did 2 years at Hughes.
Did he 2 Hughes?
2, because my freshman year was his second.
Because I know your freshman year was the last year of Hughes, because I was working and I was on the sideline when you walked past me in tears, and it was really sad.
It was very not fun.
No, I hated that. It was horrible. But I thought that was his first year.
No,
I guess I only had,
yeah,
because I only had 1 year with McElwain. I only had 1 year with him, so and you're the year below me, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I knew him a little bit. Came out here, and I just like the area.
I mean, Fort Collins is incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
And the people aren't terrible.
No, the people are okay.
Could be better.
But no, it's better. Marshall was just like.
So they were your only 2 like serious ones. Did you have like otherwise there was like D2 offers and you didn't want to go there, or?
I had some other D1 offers, but they had guys like commit, and they just kind of like pulled it, like he already's coming, so like we don't need anybody. But
Georgia should have done that, or the people, or Justin Fields, or someone who's going to Georgia should have done that.
I know he's at OSU, I think.
Yeah, I mean that team's now scary, but wait, who's their coach now?
Ryan Day.
Was he there?
He was like their OC.
Okay, so he was their offensive coordinator. I was like, I know Maya left, but I couldn't remember who went there.
Yeah.
So recruiting sucks for you.
It didn't suck. Like it was.
You said it was horrible.
It wasn't fun. Like it was like cool to be. Like,
do you think you had it easier with less options?
Yeah, I think for sure. Because I didn't have. There's some kids.
I mean, are they on par? Similar level of offers? Here in Marshall?
They were similar.
So I feel like there's somewhere like, yeah, you can get an offer from, like someone's just going to throw your offer from FIU, like for what's his name? This guy who went to, let's go Francois, I was thinking Winston, who was at FSU. Like he probably got offers from FIU, but he chose FSU because obviously you have offers from everywhere, but there's obviously a separation tier of where to go in terms of academics and athletics.
We were pretty much, they were pretty even. Like I would describe the conference they were in as like the East Coast version of the Mountain West. So like they were pretty comparable. I think our academics.
Are they a similar size school?
No, they were tiny, like big town and like mountain.
Didn't want that?
No, it was.
You'd fit in though with your beard and your long hair now.
Beard, flip flops, the George. I'd probably fit in.
You'd fit in anywhere in America with that though, except maybe Colorado. Well, I guess he kind of answered. I said, "How did you end up at CSU?" But you knew Bobo, you liked the area.
Yeah, like knew the coaches, came out here, liked the area. And,
how much does meeting current players affect? Well, how much did it affect your decision? I don't know how much it affects someone else's, and I guess neither do you.
For me, it didn't really have that much of an effect. Like on my visits, I only met like off the top of my head, I remember JC, BC, Adam, and Izzy. Like, I don't remember meeting.
Did you meet any of the senior guys, or even like Hollywood or anyone? Were they just
I never met Hollywood, like none of those guys. But I think for current, it depends on the person. Like for me, I wasn't.
You just weren't bothered about the social aspect of the team?
Not really, because I figured we'll spend enough time together, like, wherever I go, it'll be fine. But for some guys, like, I've had to host, and it's been like, like, they want to be around as many people as they can to see what the team's like. So I think it varies per person, but...
So just personally for you, it didn't really matter, because you can just... I mean, you are a chill guy. You get along with everyone.
Yeah,
so you don't really pick fights or anything.
Nah.
It's like going through a timeline. So now you're at CSU.
Yeah.
What is it like playing football in front of thousands of people? Give me or tens of thousands. Give me the good and the bad.
Okay. I don't get that nervous. I don't.
So that's a good thing for you, really.
Yeah, I don't get that nervous. I think mainly because I'm just like I'm comfortable. I feel like I know like what I'm doing, But for example, like today I had to read to a kindergarten class, and I was like way more nervous for that than like in a game. So I'm like,
is that because you're not? Oh, actually no. I've had classes with you, and reading does not.
I'm not a great reader. Like
you're public speaking.
I read fine, but like if I don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say because I said public speaking. I'm gonna take that back because I know you can speak well because you have to play football to be a quarterback at this level.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're talking about. Like when we have, the business classes, like sometimes
presentations
when
on
I'm
presentations.
not confident with what I'm talking about, but like with football stuff,
I mean, we nailed our presentation in class.
Of course.
Because we knew what we were going to say.
100%. And you pretty much carried the team, so.
I mean, there were a couple of us. I'd done that for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I'm just like, people are like, so we're going to get this done. I'm like, it's already done. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, I did it last night. I'm like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, talking to people takes so long. I wanted to get it done.
Because I've been in groups where it's like, you sit
It doesn't
around
get done.
for 30 minutes and nothing's happening.
No. And I have those groups with my friends, but then I know we can all turn on and be like, right, now we're going to work for half an hour and it gets done. Like, we'll sit there and, I mean, we had it wasn't capstone, but it was international business management. Group of 5 of us, all friends, or at least I was friends with everyone before, and they had like friends they knew in the group as well. We had decided to have a meeting at the Skella. For people who don't know, it's like the only place on campus that sells beer. It's like a bar, and on the TV at the time, I think was like NBA playoffs or something.
That's a terrible
or like
idea.
March Madness. So we went down there, and all 3 guys, we got a picture, just sat there watching the TVs, and the girls were kind of doing work, but they were also had beers and just drinking along the side. And I was like we knew we weren't going to get any work done at that meeting, but we also knew that we could get the work done if needed. We just didn't need to.
Yeah.
It's so nice, like having that option, and then be like, okay, no, we can turn it on now. Like, go.
But to answer your question, I would say it's fun. Last year went great. Like, I'd say that's the not so fun part. When things aren't going your way.
Can you tell when a crowd's annoyed during the game?
For sure. Like,
Does it?
I don't know what game. Like you can feel it deflate, kind of. Like if it's like a big third down.
Does that
we need
affect
it.
you, or does the coach's reaction affect more? Not necessarily, maybe not you, or maybe you don't get affected, but like a team as a whole, what affects it more, like the crowd reaction or the coach's reaction?
I think when a crowd gets out of it, it doesn't affect us as much as if they get into it.
I'd agree with that.
So like if we're playing and then the crowd's really into it, like I think guys really respond to that. But I think when they start losing it and getting out of it, I don't think guys are like, oh no, like we're losing the fans. Like we're just gonna keep playing.
Is it the same with the coaches? Like if you know, you haven't been through it, but like if you know a coach is leaving or they're likely to leave at the end of the year, do you think that would change the mentality of a team?
I don't know. Like you said, I've never been a part of that, but I think it would because
I kind of want to now ask one of the basketball players and have them on and be like, the Larry, like, you don't have to say what went on, but did it affect how the team mentality was, or were you loyal to the coach? Were like,
I think because I think in college the big thing is like buying into whatever the coach's like philosophy is, and I think for them to say it over and over, like trying to get you to buy in, and then like you finally do, and then you figure out that they're like bouncing, it's like, well, I don't want to play for you anymore, like you're kind of leaving us.
I didn't have this written down, but did Bogo's illness affect the team?
I think it played a part. You can't help it.
No, I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying. I just don't know if I don't know if it did. Like, or do you just rally behind him like, coach, you're going to get through this. We're going to go play. Like,
I think we rallied, but I think he was gone for 2-3 weeks, something like that, in fall camp, and
it was the camp, wasn't it?
I think you can tell a difference when he was there and when he's not, because when he's there, he brings energy.
He can tell exactly what he wants, and if he doesn't see something he likes, you can tell. Whereas someone else might know that's not what he wants, but they might not necessarily say it.
Exactly, and I think we had not a problem, but I think everybody, when something would happen, was kind of looking around to be like whose place is it to say what, So I think we
I feel that happens anywhere. Like if your leader leaves, it's let it be chopped off the head. Everything else kind of tends to fall apart, at least on some levels.
For sure.
I mean, we kind of already went over this one as well, actually. Does the public opinions of the team affect you or the team, and is it noticeable?
For me personally or the team?
Both, but we'll go outside of game. Obviously, last year the team's opinion in the public wasn't great.
Right, yeah.
Did it make a difference?
So we didn't, I personally don't read anything. Like I don't read articles. I don't watch interviews like of myself with anybody. I don't do any of that just for. I just feel like it's a waste of time. Like I know people have a job to do, and God bless them for that. But I don't. It doesn't do me.
They've got to make a living.
Yeah, so I don't pay attention, but I think some guys do. But they encourage us just to, like, nothing else matters but what's in this room, and nobody really understands what's going on unless you're...
Did it ever come in to, like, meetings or anything? Like, did Bobo ever say, like, the public isn't happy with us? Or is it just kind of a thing that people know but it's never said?
I think mostly it's known but never said, but he has brought it up. Not that they're not happy, but he's like, more...
We need to do them proud kind of thing?
That and, the whole... It's more like if we're going into... like if we were playing Alabama 2 years ago, they're like, no one's giving you a chance. Like,
no, that's in Florida.
So he's like, no one's giving you a chance. Everybody says like you're gonna get blown out, that stuff. But he's like, it doesn't.
That's
matter.
like a motivational one. Yeah.
So he's never like.
I mean, I don't know why you would bring in a negative aspect, but I'm sure there's some people who say it. I guess it's a guilt trip. Like you bring in like you'd be like, this is what your city's saying about you.
Yeah.
Do you want that, or do you want like to be seen as the heroes, the great team?
His big thing really is, like I said earlier, just it's about us in the room. And he never really brings any negative stuff. Like
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's good to hear negative things, but you don't have to say them for them to be there.
Yeah, because I think
especially not to everyone. Like in individual things, like I'm sure he said negative things about performances.
Yeah.
Like you have to. Like, that's your job as a coach. But I wouldn't bring in public opinion. Just doesn't. To me, it doesn't seem like it'd bring anything. Unless it was a big game, like no one's giving us a chance. Right. We need to go. Like let's just go and have fun, like kind of thing.
And I think some guys know already because a lot of guys like pay attention to all that stuff. So I think for the most part, everybody knows. But
you can just tell by the attendance, if nothing else.
Right. For sure.
Which is depressing enough for me, and I don't play. I'm on the sidelines working. I have to go choose people from the crowd for a promotion, and there's like 4 people that are sober because it's minus 50. It's snowing against Utah State in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, how am I going to find anyone for this?
I woke up that morning, I remember looking out and being like, yeah, it's snowing and it's 20. There's probably going to be about like...
I think the attendance was like 19,000.
Yeah.
Because I have to look at the numbers for sponsors and give them back to them. I think it was about 19,000. Which for a game that one was over full break as well. Wasn't that was like over full break, freezing cold.
We were 3-8.
Oh yeah, we were a terrible record, and they were ranked.
Yeah, they were like
24th or something.
Something like that.
12. They weren't that high.
In one of them, in 8 people, there were 12.
Oh, yeah. At that point the
college football.
Yeah, the playoff ones were out. Like, it was our game, and I was going to say we should have won that game, but I don't want to bring it up.
I still say
okay, so I wasn't playing, but so my soccer team's Manchester City, and we lost. Actually, no, we won the game the other day, but it was a 2-leg. So imagine like a playoff series where there's only 2 games, so 1 at home, 1 away. We were home second leg. We had to win by 2 goals to go through. First, we're 10 minutes in, it's 2-2 in soccer.
Wow.
Yeah. Goes later on. So we're up 4-2 with 76 minutes on the clock. So we have 14 minutes left. We concede. So I equivalated that to like, you were in the lead and you like conceded the 2-minute warning, and you now have to go down the field like in a 2-minute drill and score. So we conceded, so we're now only up by 1 with 14 minutes left. In the 93rd minute, so in the 3rd minute of added time for all the stoppage and stuff, we score, goes back, and it's reviewed and disallowed.
For what?
Offside. But my brother's coach, he read through the offside and was like, I've read it and reread it, I still don't know if it was offside, because the defending team, not our team, played the ball back and it came off one of our players, and then one of our players went on and scored, but there is a clear grey cloud over whether it has to be an intentional or not touch for him to be offside, because he didn't intentionally pass the ball, he was just trying to get the ball back and get out of the way. But no, so I was like, I went through that heartbreak like
Very
the other day, and it was horrible.
Yeah, like we were all. I thought we won. We were all celebrating.
I thought we won. I'm up on the. I'm below the video board, carrying tables above my head, like trying to get things closed, and then all I think the entire time was like, they haven't shown us anything. Like the refs were stood in the middle of the field talking to each other, and my whole team was like, oh, we won. I was like, look at the refs. They haven't moved, and I'm just like, if they haven't moved, they're talking about it.
Yeah, I was like running. I remember running down to the corner of the end zone where everybody was, and kind of like ran by the flag. I was like, oh, it's weird, like ref dropped his flag, whatever. And then it bursted, and that was that. That was tough. Talk about high highs going to low lows.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Sports is why we love them. It's why we hate them.
Exactly.
So, actually, talk about the stadium. What's it like playing in a brand new stadium? This year and last year? Or like having it as a facility?
Well, it's cool.
That's the word you say.
It's cool. Nah,
Hughes comes up later. This is about the new stadium.
They're different. Nothing will compare to the first game. The first
That you
game
ever
was
played,
amazing.
or the first game in the stadium?
First game in the stadium.
That was better than the... Oh wait, no, first game last year was Oregon State because we moved that one forward, yeah. I was thinking the first game was like the Hawaii one, but then we had Arkansas later and it was bigger. But no, last year was the...
I would say Oregon State. The very first one, it was packed. That place was rocking.
The strikeout worked incredibly.
It looked awesome. And that was the loudest I've ever heard it. So that was probably the coolest part. And I think the new stadium, in my opinion, because it's on campus, the coolest part's the students. Because at Hughes, I think it was hard for everybody to get there.
Yes, but everyone wanted to go because you could tailgate, which is now everyone's...
true.
Like, it's now easier for everyone to get to, potentially, but people don't like coming because you have to drive after you've tailgated for a lot of people.
I thought it was a wet campus on Saturday.
It is, but, I mean, everyone knows this. All the underage people who go and tailgate in the dorms and they have to drive in and stuff, and even then, if you drive, you can't... You'd have to pay for parking on campus, which I know there's enough complaint of that already, and then drink and like drive, or you can. I mean, the max. If I lived anywhere along the max line, I'm maxing all day, free all the way up, next to the stadium, golden.
Yeah.
And then because you can carry around, I think it's a 12-pack per person. I think it's the limit or something like you can carry around in tailgates.
Do you want to do another beer?
Ooh, yes please.
The same?
Yes please. That was the waitress, if you heard that. But no, yeah. So I agree it should be better, and the performance wasn't great, which is probably why the students' opinion wasn't great. But let's be honest, our student attendance for all sports is shit. Yeah. And I work all sports, and I know that, and it annoys me. I missed one volleyball game in the first 2 years here before I started this job. One. And the only reason I missed that is my dad flew in from Australia and told me I had to go for dinner with him rather than going to the game. I had my ticket and he wouldn't let me go.
Free dinner's not bad though.
Yeah, but I was like, alright, I can go catch like the second and third game. And he's like, no, we're staying, we're getting more drinks. I just want to go to the end of the game, why won't you let me?
And then it's probably been the most consistent.
Well, it was probably, we had our highest ever attendance this year, the Illinois game. Basketball this year was potentially worse than yours in terms of attendance.
Like we had the number, were they 6 at the time, Nevada?
We hosted 6, yeah.
Yeah, like that was ridiculous. Like I went and I was expecting it to be packed.
I think at that game we had 4,500, which is just over half. No, our biggest game was Wyoming, which is understandable, and it was at a later date so people knew our team wasn't awful. Our record doesn't show. Our team was decent this year for football.
I lost a lot of...
I mean, it's a lot like our football. We lost a lot of stupid games that we were decent, but attendance for both was poor, which sucks because, as you said, you don't notice when they're not there. You notice when they are there. Like it makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which is why I think everyone thought the new stadium was going to be better, and I think it will be, and people are still getting used to it, and they're still changing the rules with clear bag and student tickets and everything. People aren't used to they have to get their tickets before and stuff, but I think it will get better.
It's different because I growing up in South Carolina, you're down in SEC country, and
Were you close to South Carolina University?
About an hour and a half.
So are they the ones you
45
grew up
minutes.
to watch, or like watch when you grew up even? Because my roommate grew up in the Springs and he always went to Air Force games because it was like you just 40 minutes away, you just drive up and like that. But they were like because even if they're not your team, you go to local college games because it's fun.
It's there, yeah.
It's a family thing.
So like Clemson's 45 minutes away, and then
So Clemson's closer.
Clemson's closer. So I went
That
to.
must have been fun.
It was fun. Like I went. My brother went to.
Although back
Clemson.
when you were growing up, surely South Carolina were better.
They were. South Carolina was better, and then my late high schools when Clemson
Clowny.
started getting good.
Surely your late high school was Clowny.
That was early high school.
Oh, okay.
You're a little older than me.
I am older than you, but I'm like, I remember that, and I don't think I was in the country yet, so you must have been in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school, but I went to some of both of those schools. I grew up a Michigan fan, though. That's where my dad went, so I grew up watching them all the time. I'd go there sometimes, but yeah, growing up down there, like,
It's a lot harder to get tickets.
ridiculous. Like they always pack it out whether they're good or not.
What was it? 162 sold-out games in a row for Nebraska or whatever it is, and they sucked last year.
You know, I get it. There's more tradition there and stuff,
But that's the thing, people still showed up. Granted, they probably bought their tickets
like
4 years ago,
but
but still, you still
will be good by then.
But you still show up, even if you're still doing bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're hating on CSU fans too much. We are fans. So do you miss playing at Hughes, or the experience of Hughes?
I do. Hughes was fun. I only got to play like.
Was it better to go there? Because you actually went somewhere? Because for the stadium, for this one, you still stay at the Hilton the night before, don't you?
Yeah, we're in the.
But now it's not like we're driving somewhere, it's kind of like a drive round to come back in.
No, I like it. I still like it here, but Hughes was fun. Like, it was cool to be out there, like right underneath, like
Underneath the A, right by Horsetooth.
That was really sweet. It was like a different feel, but the new stadium's awesome, though. And, I think.
There you go.
I think like over time, like we're gonna get better, and then like I think that'd be a better attendance.
I love the fact that people are like, well, I love the fact that people think students pay for the stadium. Students that say we pay for the stadium, I want to hit. You can literally go on to the stadium's website, go to frequently asked questions. It's like, where did this money come from? And it literally says, not from student money. Not in those exact words, but you can say, not a dime of student tuition or tuition raises went towards the stadium. So all you entitled little brats, shut up, because you didn't pay for it. Shit, you went there. So I had a class with Jake Schlager his senior year, and we were talking to Sonny Lubick. He was our guest speaker. And someone asked about the stadium and about the paying for it and stuff. I was like, one, not the person you want to talk to about this. His name's on the field. Like, if you're going to say anything bad, and he didn't pay for his name on the field, someone did it for him, so it was like a gift to him.
Like the icon of CSU football.
And you're asking him about the new stadium and do you think we should have had it? And I'm just like, really? And I text Jake during the class. I was like, and he was like, I want to hit her. I was like, so do I. She was, I hated her for that class.
What was
Lovely
the answer?
He gave a very political answer, as he would. So he's not going to say anything stupid. He's a great guy, and he's friends with The Rock. Yeah, he was a coach there when The Rock coached in Miami. So he was giving us another speech for business class. He was the guest speaker, and he was like, I met this guy. He was like, what can I do to get on the team? Because at the time, he was the second string over, and they had the first, three first-round draft picks, on their D line. He was like, what can I do to get on? And he was like, just keep going. And this guy kept working. I was like, he's talking about The Rock to the guy next to me. And then 30 seconds later, and he's like, you know, this guy turned out to be the most successful movie guy in the last 5 years. It's The Rock. It's like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's like, it's The Rock.
Yeah, that's crazy. They were loaded back then.
Oh, that was the glory days. That's when he was there.
Oh, yeah.
That was when they had the incredible defense and now all the scandals.
He went from there to here.
Oh, God, he spoke about it.
There were a couple of pit stops, I think.
I don't know if he stopped. I think he stopped coaching.
Oh, did he?
I think he stopped coaching after Miami, came back to be a teacher, and then they were like, do you want the job? Kind of thing. I think. Because, he said he started as an English teacher, and then, the high school, that was like, do you want to coach? And then that's how he got right through it. And now his son's here. And his other son, Matt Lubbock, is the head of the Canvas deal for Canvas on campus, who was the quarterback and offensive one at Washington. He's now here. He's on CSU. I know a lot because my brother works in CSU. I don't think this is public knowledge. So, and then this might not be, but his son-in-law owns DC Oaks.
So they're like all in Fort Collins
now. Now that Matt's come down here.
Wow.
Which I still don't know why you would take I don't know actually know how much his pay cut was, but probably around like 700,000.
Does your sister work here too?
Yeah, so my sister is the head of the nutrition center. She did the last podcast.
So all you guys are.
And then my brother works on CSU.
Why Fort Collins?
Well, I came first.
So they're copycats.
Well, no, I came before my brother. Shelby was here first. Shelby came here for grad school to get her master's in nutrition. I came here, my brother came to visit me my freshman year, met Shelby while he was visiting me, and then got married after that. And now he's here, now he works at the university as well. And she's now the head of the nutrition center at the, what's it called? I was going to say Columbine Health Center, but it's not that. There's Columbine on it. The new one on CSU's campus on the southeast corner actually it's the northwest corner of College and Prospect.
I get confused when I can't see the mountains. I don't know.
That way is the mountains.
I was always confused.
People living in Colorado. Which way is west? Look to the mountains.
Yeah. And then, I thought that was a universal thing for a while. So, we went to California, and they're like, well, which way is like this? And I was like, well, the mountains are there, so, that's only
So my roommate grew up in Arizona, or my old roommate now. So they had mountains on 3 sides.
Oh, yeah.
So they were like in a horseshoe, and there was a mountains one way, and then he came here, and was like, well, this is easy, west. I don't know how we got to this from what do you misuse, but it's what podcasts are for, you just talk about things. Ooh. General sports. We're just going to keep this conversation going. Do you ever wish you didn't play football, or that you played a different sport? I guess that's kind of 2 separate questions. Do you wish you didn't ever play football?
No.
Do you wish you played a different sport other to football?
I wouldn't say that, but I do miss other sports.
Like basketball?
Obviously. Didn't want to say it, but yeah, pretty much.
ACL number 2?
Yeah. Obviously, that's why I was playing that day. But no, I do miss it. I played since kindergarten. I played basketball longer than I have football, and
I think it's easier to.
Oh yeah.
You can go play. You can try and play football with your dad, but you can't. It's like, I was going to say it's kind of like soccer, but soccer's even easier to play by yourself because you can learn how to do it with the ball. You can't throw a pass to no one.
Yeah, and then you can never simulate having 22 guys out there doing.
Whereas basketball, you can practice your shooting. Football, you can practice your shooting. Football is in soccer that young.
And you can always go and play, 5-on-5.
Like golf, baseball. Football's one of the actually. Do you think of another sport that you can't do anything really by yourself apart from get stronger and fitter and
baseball,
more athletic?
Maybe. You have
still
to
hit.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
You can still hit off a tee or from a machine. You can still do something by yourself. You don't even have to someone good, but you could hit up flies or get them to throw the ball across the floor and they can do something. Football's literally unless you're a kicker or a punter, what can you do by yourself? D lineman trying to practice by himself.
There's certain stuff, but
that's athletic stuff. That's not game-specific stuff ever.
Right.
Yes, you can say that shooting's not game-specific because you're never going to get no one in front of you, ball perfectly placed, or that. But it's just muscle memory. It's learning how to kick a ball, learning how to hit a ball, learning how to throw a ball.
But yeah, I do miss.
Is there enough?
I do miss basketball though. And that was my first offer.
D1?
No, small school. Small school in North Carolina. But
almost fell over. Do you wish if you would if you could have chosen a sport to be good at, would you have chosen basketball to go for?
What do you mean by good?
If you could have got that is equivalent to CSU. If you could have got equivalent offers in any sport, what sport would you choose? Open up to everything.
Football.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've always thought it was the most fun. Like, I enjoyed it a lot.
Just to play.
But if you were to tell me I was gonna go and just be like the best ever at anything,
Oh no! That's why I said equivalent offer. I worded it carefully.
I would do golf because I would do it forever and just make bank.
Some people don't.
But if
Tennis made bank.
That's true. Tennis, golf.
Fuck that Formula One.
I'm not doing that. It's not fun.
Who makes more, Formula One or NASCAR? I don't actually know.
I would say
I would get bored of doing NASCAR.
just turn left. We ran track.
Yeah, but I did decathlon. I did 10 different events.
You say all you do.
And your girlfriend did pole vault, so she just flung herself upside down. So it's like, we did the fun stuff.
More than turning left.
Yeah, I did turn left, but I did other stuff as well. Formula One, at least I get to turn right.
That's true.
And I'm in quicker cars. Formula One would be cool. Now, it's not as much money, but Formula E, they have electronic Formula One cars now. And they're like safety cars or BMW i8s that go around, because it's just all electronic.
I think I get bored. I don't think I'd be good.
I mean, if you've listened to Lewis Hamilton at all, do you even know who he is?
No.
He's probably one of the best at the time, if not the best at the time. He's a British guy. And like everyone's just like, why'd you crash out this race? He's like, I was just trying to get past him. And everyone's like, so basically he's bored of just sitting behind someone who's just like winning the championship. He just wants to win every race because otherwise it's not a challenge to it. Like, he's just like, yeah, I just wanted to go. So, well, yeah, because you have to sit there for 3.5 hours. Like his endurance training is like a 4.5 hour bike ride. It's just like, oh, all right, we'll go. That's what he has to do to be in that shape, and like the mentality is like, right, we're pushing for 4.5 hours. Like,
I always wonder about the bathroom.
don't before they go in the suit. I bet they've all gone in the suit. Bet they have. It's not 4.5 hours, I guess. I think most races are probably 2 with it. But how long are NASCAR races?
Yeah, I can see what. I only watched like the Daytona 500.
So that's what, 300, 500? No, I don't know, 500. It must be 500 laps.
500 laps.
But the laps must be less than a minute.
There's probably like three.
That's one thing that I think the rest of the world doesn't understand about American sports. American sports are made to be social events as a spectator. They're not made to watch you sit intensely for 90 minutes like soccer. And like soccer's boring, you sit there and nothing happens for 90 minutes. It's like, you need to go to a soccer game if you think that's true.
Soccer, yeah.
Like if you go on the TV, yeah, some games are really boring, but if you're there, it's never boring. You can't even have alcohol on the sun.
It's just different.
I've been to Champions League, I've been to Premier League, I've been to England internationals.
I've always wanted.
My sister worked for BBC Sport as well, so I've done. She got free. I mean, she was at the first leg of the semi-final in hospitality. She was at the semi-final of the FA Cup, of like a cup game for us in like a like I went home for the first time in like 3 years, like last November, just before the Wyoming game. And she got us tickets to like go to the game, but like I went and met, like imagine Red Zone as like a post game thing. So like there's 3 people there talking about the games, like they go over highlights and stuff like that. There's something like that called Match of the Day in England, and my sister used to work on that. So I went in and sat there and spoke to the 3 ex-football players who's like, one's the all-time Premier League top scorer. I was like going there and I was like, hi, how's it going? He's like, oh, I'm Alan, how's it going? My sister has his number, and my sister texted me. She's like, oh yeah, can you get this signed? He's like, yeah, sure.
I feel like you guys are like insanely connected.
Who? My family?
Like, yeah, the Cox. Yeah. Something like that.
We're very good with people, I'd say. Something like that, yeah. She's made a lot of connections. My dad has a lot of connections because he's in Australia with a bunch of people, and he's high up in his business, so he meets a lot of people. My mum doesn't really have connections unless you want teachers. But I knew every one of my friends' parents because of her, because she taught all of them. She literally taught at every single school in our local area, because when we were growing up she was part-time, so she just went and helped wherever they needed. Literally every single one, from my brother's 5 years older, from all of his age to my age, she taught every other school. Every single one of my friends' parents, unless they were at my school, she taught. And even at our school, she was a governor. So she was like the head of the PAT or whatever it is, the parent or PTA. Like she was head of that and like knew everyone from that. So literally every parent, my mum knew, because we lived in the same town for 17, 18 years, and she was a teacher, so she just knew everyone. So I guess she did have connections, just not as cool connections. And then my brother's connections around CSU are pretty good, as are mine now. I mean, I still say hi to Joe Parker and his wife.
Yeah, you've been here for 5, 6?
About to be 5, so technically 5's when I arrived, like August, but 5 school years, But no, I mean, I've got more questions, but we went off. I love tangents. We're kind of over this. We're on general sports now, so I guess this is to football, but I guess we'll go to any sport. What have you learned from sports, and is any of it life applicable?
Yes, it is life applicable.
So you go with the yes before the what?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned is how to handle adversity with the 2 surgeries.
I wasn't even going on that route.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Like obviously that's not how I envisioned my career.
No. I don't think anyone envisions injuries.
Right. But
if you are, you're sadistic, then you're
But it was it happened, and I just had to learn how to handle it and stay positive and just keep going. And I think in life it's not, hopefully not anything physical, but there's
less likely, and it's less likely to affect you as much.
There's going to be adversity in some way, shape, or form, and I feel like I'll be.
You know how to keep a positive mindset and get through it.
I feel like I'll be able to get through it.
I thought you were going to go down like the one I always expect from like people who play in a team is like teamwork and like camaraderie. Is what I expect. But I feel like, in college business you learn that regardless. You learn how to work with people. I don't think that's as applicable as learning to work with people you don't like.
That is
learning to people you don't like or can't deal with, but you can still work with. I think is a much better skill than learning to work with people you like. Learning to work with people you like is easy.
It's extremely easy. Yeah, that is the one thing about college business. Like, there's so many group stuff.
One of the random ones are like some teachers give you the choice, some don't.
Yeah, like right
and
now.
I respect that some do and some don't. I respect the difference.
And otherwise you just be with people you like the whole time and you never
and people like sometimes it doesn't work, but studies have shown that people sometimes work better when they're with people they like, and I think I like the difference because it made us work with people not necessarily that you didn't like, but people you didn't know, and you had to work together having not known each other for 4 years, or for me maximum 4 years. For everyone else could have been like 20 years. From sport? I don't know. Like mental blockages don't really mean anything, or you can get around them. Not that they don't mean anything. In an individual sport, like run-ups, there's a lot of mental blockages that can happen that stop you from doing things. I've had it in long jump, I had it in high jump, I had it in pole vault.
Like what?
Like I'd literally get my penultimate step and then I'd give up. Just so like, nope. Like, it's not happening. And like, I'd go through a whole training session and the coach would be like, just go sit down and train. We have our own training. I was like, just like, go sit down and train. It was like, I just sat there and then I'd come back and do it. Like, what did you do? I was like, I don't know. Just had to get over it. I was like, I'm not letting myself give up at like this. Like, I need to do it.
That's weird. Yeah, like, talking to Aaliyah, like, with pole vault, it's so mental.
Oh, it's
so much
all mental.
For me, like, I don't
was going to say it's all mental, but it's a lot of mental. Well, yeah, because yours is kind of like you throw it or you don't. Which I guess actually can be a mental thing, like if you're scared of throwing an interception or a bad par, like you don't want to get bollocked for it on the other end, but less so because you can come back for it. Whereas if it's like your third attempt and you like, if you miss it, you're like, oh, fuck, I'm out. You get more than 3 attempts in football.
There's a lot of plays in a game,
which might not necessarily be a good thing, but I've had blockages in basically everything that takes me time to think, which is just approaches. So running ones, no. I had blockages in like 1500 and I didn't push as hard as I could have. Like in the longer distance, I'm like probably 400 as well. But that's, I guess it is a blockage. It's like you're not unleashing your full potential. But the ones you're noticing are the run-ups. Like throws, it's too quick, you're done. you hit it or you didn't. Jumps though, you get at least 10 strides generally to be like, no. I mean, it's happened to me in all 3 of them, and it's long jump's harder to pull out of. Still done it, but I mean, the best thing is there's generally a timer on how long you have to go, and I've done it where I've had 2 attempts in one, and I've thrown both. I haven't done either. It's bad.
That's interesting. I mean, I've heard. I feel like it's bigger for individual sports. And like
or individual things, like imagine pitchers. They're still going to throw the ball, but imagine there's a mental blockage of, I can't beat this batter. So you kind of, I guess you don't throw your best. I don't know. Like, you probably still trying, but it's like you just throw balls and you walk them. Like, I can't beat them.
Like
so you unintentionally, you unintentionally throw balls, and it's just like that's a team sport, but it's a very individual aspect. I mean, batting as well, I guess, for baseball.
Right.
Shooting, basketball, kicking in football. Like there must be blockages for all of these. Maybe not like you don't kick. So it's not like a blockage of like you don't do it. There is a mental aspect to it. I mean, there's definitely a mental aspect to the game. It's like, I can't do it kind of thing. Right. You just can't really pull out at that point because the whole team's counting on you, I guess.
It's never really happened in football, but basketball, like when you said the shot thing. Like,
I mean, there's kickers that it happens to.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not punters because it doesn't really affect the game as much.
Right.
But there's definitely kickers. What were you gonna say?
Oh, like for me in basketball, like, you know, if you miss your first couple shots, then you kind of start thinking, like, oh, like, you know, like, what am I doing wrong? And then you just get in your head too much. So, like,
when everyone, the commentators always say it, like, oh, he's just not feeling it.
Yeah.
I was like, if he hits one, he's gonna hit the next 3 probably. Right. It's just
like, there's something about like, for me, all I needed like was one bucket. Like if I could see it go through, then I'm like, all right.
And even if you don't, you feel good for the rest of the night. Even if you miss like the next 3, you still
then
feel like I've made one. Like it's gonna go. Like you're in there. I didn't even play basketball, and I feel like that.
Yeah, but then like once if you don't, then you just feel like you'll never be able to.
Yeah. Which is why I guess they always say like try and take the easy points, like the layups and stuff. And I feel like that doesn't affect. From my perspective, I'm like that doesn't. They know that if they miss a layup, they're shit at that level. They're like, if I miss this, like they don't think about missing that. But I think it doesn't affect them positively for other stuff. They're like, it doesn't matter if I've got 16 points if they're all layups or dunks. Like, I'm not going to miss them. They're not. I don't think it helps them making a 3, but I think making the first pull-up jump shot, whether it's a 2 or 3, does.
The big thing for me was like if I somehow got to the free throw line, then I was like, okay, like we can calibrate everything.
So that did help you. That was the other one. That's the one I didn't say because I was like, I don't know if that.
For me, like it was like just personally, like if I was missing and I somehow got to the free throw line, then I was like, okay, like we can figure it out. And then after that, I'd be like, all right, I'm ready.
That's good. Going back to the questions because we've been talking. Do you think sports is generally beneficial for life? And if so, in what ways?
Oh, yeah. I think...
Beside the health aspects. Because I was like, that's an easy cop-out to say. Yeah, because you're fit and you're active.
No, I do think it is. And I think that you talked about it, like working with teams and stuff earlier. And I would agree with that. But I think like even the competition part of it, because nowadays like there's so many people with college degrees and so many people like looking to do the same things that you want to do. Like the competition really kind of like has been raised, and I think as an athlete, like you already know what it's like
to compete against people
every day, and
against your own team, against others, against everyone.
Yeah, like whatever it is, like. You know what that's like, especially doing it in college. Like it's a grind, and I think that's a huge advantage.
Okay, so we're now on to I mean that actually happened a while ago, but we're going on the stories of the week. The American Alliance football folding.
Ooh, yeah.
Opinions. My comments were just what? Like question mark? I know this is not like a couple of weeks ago, like a week ago, but we were meant to do this an earlier time and then things went away.
First thought's unfortunate, not surprised.
Not surprised?
No, those kind of leagues never pan out well.
Do you think it would have been a good, like if it continued? wow, weird voice. If you think it continued, do you think it would have been beneficial?
It had potential, but only if they would have allowed the NFL guys that were like on practice squads
To go down to those
to
two.
go down.
Okay, so
They
you want
weren't-
to... It's almost like baseball. So AAA kind of...
Right, and the
Region.
NFLPA was not allowing players to do that, so I think it was going to have a hard time taking off. But I think
Do you
the attendance
think
was decent.
that they would have had... It's like Trent Richardson going back and playing for the Birmingham Iron. Do you think he would have had a better shot than someone on someone's practice team? Like to get a first team shot?
Possibly. I think
Because
so.
he's playing actually in a game, not in practice.
Well, because it's new. The other guy you see every day, and you're like, okay, like we know we have him.
So more of you haven't seen him, not because it's in a game.
Because I think there's something about like, watching and just being like, oh, like who's that guy? Like, okay, I remember him. Trent Richardson.
I remember him getting drafted.
Oh, absolutely. I'm surprised he's not in the NFL, but I think it had potential. But I talked to Jake Bennett about it the other day, and he said even from the start there were a ton of glitches. Like,
Well, I mean, you read what happened, like people not getting paid, and
I think he didn't have that problem, thank goodness. But he talked about how they were supposed to be in Salt Lake, but they didn't build their facility in time, so they had to be in San Antonio. So there's a lot of like little things I think that.
I mean, when you try and start something that big, that quickly, without the help of someone like the NFL, I'm not surprised there's issues. I'm half surprised, half not, that it like folded that quickly. The fact they didn't even finish the first season.
I think that was a little surprising.
Like, I thought you would at least make it through first year and then be like, this isn't financially viable. Like, at least, because the players are just like, so I've just been in this for 6 weeks and now I don't even get to play in like the Champions or something. Like, I've given everything, like...
Yeah. But I think the thing that hurt him, from what I read, was like investors pulling out, like $250 million guy.
Yeah, the guy who was like the first guy, who was the one who was like, yeah, it's done, and everyone was just like,
Yeah, he's not dead. But then what I heard was like, they're like Jake said he went to practice, and then they told him what happened. They were done. Comes back to the hotel, and their bags were in the lobby. The hotel was like, "Oh, league's over, the funding's over. See ya."
Not
They just had to
surprised.
like figure it out.
Did they at least pay for his flight back? Do you know?
I don't know. Would be surprised if they did.
I was like, I doubt it. Yeah, I think it had potential, but it was wasted. I don't know whether it was the wrong person, the wrong time.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't think it was the wrong time because
No, I think it's
I
a
think
good
we're
time.
ready for, because everyone's like, we need more chances. Like with Manziel going to the CFL and
season's
stuff,
over.
it's just like.
So,
But yeah, I think it was just unfortunate. Let's go basketball. General, NBA, actually not general, NBA and college. Do you watch the regular season or do you only watch the playoffs? Or March Madness?
NBA, only playoffs. There's
You
too
don't-
many games. There's 82 games. I'm like, I'll watch the big ones. Like,
But you watch baseball.
I don't watch baseball.
You don't watch baseball?
I watch it like.
But it's just on, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's like, but
I was like, there's 162 there.
yeah,
162.
College basketball, I watch a decent amount of though. Like, cause it's on like in the middle.
Just
of the
because you like college basketball, like you like basketball, or because it's fun?
I think college is more fun to watch because they actually
Yes.
try and play defense. Like in the NBA, it's just
Well,
like
and
they're
they
playing pickup.
like all NBA games are kind of on TV. All college ones aren't. So the ones you watch on college games are games you kind of want to watch,
Yeah,
or at least a
like the
team
big
you want.
ones,
Like the Nuggets are probably always on altitude or something, but you don't go and watch them unless it's a fun game. Like if it's a fun game, you go they're on ESPN or someone else.
I'd agree with that. But no, I definitely watch more.
So college, normal, NBA playoffs.
NBA straight.
Who's going to win this year?
I'd say Golden State again.
mean,
I'm
if
a
you bet-
Pistons fan.
If you
but
bet against them,
I think they look the best. And it's hard to go against them. I don't know who would stop them. It would be interesting. Who do you think?
I mean, anyone can beat them, but
The thing that's cool about March Madness is it's a one and done deal. Like, if you have
Yeah.
one bad game, it's like, see ya. But in the NBA, it's like, well, it's
that's
best of
just
seven.
March Madness was like a best of 3.
It would just be going on until August.
I mean, look how quick the playoffs go. I know there's not as many teams,
Right.
but imagine you played. I mean, baseball series. Imagine you played back to back to back. You can.
You could do that.
If you played a best of 3,
I don't think they should do that though, because it takes away from the fun upsets. And
I agree. I don't think they should do that for March Madness. It's what gives people their shot at the NBA.
absolutely, yeah. Like,
Ja Morant's triple double. Yes, it was talked about, but that kind of proved on a bigger scale than.
it's like, okay,
But who could? Clippers could beat them. Trouble with, I don't think Rockets will.
I think the team has the best chance is the Bucks.
I don't think anyone has a chance
No, if
that
they
has a
play-
single player as their star. LeBron did it once and he's the best player ever. You have to be. Come on. Look at the Cavs team now. Look who he took to the finals. That's all I'm saying. Look who he took to the finals last year.
He's not the best ever.
He's the best player right now, and he's the
best player.
He's bad right now.
He's the best player right
Look
now.
at the Cavs team. Look who he took last year to the finals.
That's fair.
I mean, that team's fucking shit.
Yeah, they're very bad.
Sorry, Cavs fans, but they are. No, I was like, Giannis might be the only single player who could do it, but they're also kind of good defensively. 76ers haven't got a shot. Have you seen their scores in their games recently? They've been giving up 100 plus in like the first 3 games. Ain't no way you're beating them if you're giving 100 up against whoever the fuck they're playing. The Nets. And they're giving up 100 plus a game. Nope, not beating the Warriors.
I think the Warriors.
Which sucks, because they're a good team. They're just shit defensively. Somehow. Celtics, they're playing better now than they were. Like through the regular season.
They are. Kyrie's kind of stepped up.
But they'll lose. They don't have enough scorers.
Nope. I don't think they'll make it.
They don't like Curry can go off for 40, but Curry went off for 40 and had LeBron, and they still beat them in Game 7. Like you have to, like you look at it that way, and there's a better team than I mean Cousins is now out, so yeah, maybe it's not a better team, but it's just like
I think that'll help them.
I mean, yeah, it goes both ways. He could have gone off. I mean, who do you think is the Warriors' most vital player in playoffs? Not best, most vital.
In playoffs?
Yes. Because my answer is set in stone.
I think Durant.
Oh, 100%.
Because,
100%.
you know, like,
he will get 20 a game regardless against who.
it's-
Curry can go for 9 in a game. Like, Curry and Thompson, hit or miss. And everyone's, like, the last 3 years, they have been. Before that, it was just those two, and they were, like, consistently doing it because it was only them. After that, like, since Durant's been there, it's like, everyone's like, oh, Curry. I was like, Durant may not be top scorer every game. He's MVP of every single game for them.
I think if Thompson, if he hits shots, you can't beat him.
No.
Because you know Curry's
But-
going to get at least 15, and then Durant's always in the 20s, like a
But
quiet 20.
it's easy to shut up those two. Shutting up Durant's
You can't.
impossible.
He's going to get 20 regardless.
Which means you need someone who, that's why I was like, you need a single player who can go and do it, unless you're a fucking phenomenal defensive team, which I don't think there is one.
Not anymore. Nobody plays defense.
Because Rockets can't outscore them,
All they have is Harden.
and he's not as good as last year. Despite his throwing back, I don't think he's as good as last year. He's not as consistent. You go to the East, and you're like, Raptors? Nah.
Raptors are-
Bucks? Depends what Giannis does.
Giannis could have a chance to
Like the
maintain.
biggest team that had the chance against them was the Thunder. And that was because they had fucking Durant and Westbrook against them.
Oh, that 1 year, yeah.
Yeah, that year was the only chance that someone had not the only chance, because obviously they lost that year or the year after against LeBron, but that was against LeBron. No one else has like come close, really. You may think it's close in games, but it's just like, oh, they just weren't hitting shots. Like the next game, it's not going to happen.
I agree with that. They've been dominant.
Which sucks, and I hate it, because it makes playoffs so much less fun. Having LeBron there makes it so much less fun, because LeBron, you're just like, what were they, the 7th seed last year, and he made finals?
Well, I mean, everybody, yeah.
It's just like, you just watch him, because he'll get to the if he's in playoffs, he'll get there. He's not losing.
It's been like, I don't know how many years exactly, but it's...
Well, for them it was wasn't it the 4-peat last year, those two versus each other? It was third or fourth, and that was LeBron's 7th at least year in a row.
In the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've at least been in the playoffs since
Playoffs.
he's gotten in the league.
Oh, this is he's never lost first round,
That's crazy.
which was ridiculous because last year he was down. He wasn't down
close.
3-0. It was 3-1 or something because it was the Pacers.
Yeah,
Oladipo.
Yeah, he was balling.
He was balling. They shut down the rest of them, but LeBron was like, "You still can't stop me." And then they went and swept the Raptors. Basically, I don't think he did. And then it was against the Celtics, which is still like that Celtics team last year.
That was a good.
I think
series.
was playing better than they played this year.
I'd agree with that.
And
Without
last year,
Kyrie and Hayward.
they still didn't beat him. And I mean, yesterday they don't have to go against him. I don't know what the seedings are like, but I don't know if it works out. But Bucks Celtics would be my pick at the moment. I don't know if it works out the way if they face each other in semis or whatever. But
I think they're probably.
it would either those two or 76ers because the rest.
They're so big.
I don't think Raptors will make it.
No, I don't.
They just suck in playoffs apparently.
Yeah, I feel like they're good in the regular season and they choke.
I mean, we've answered this question. The next question was, what sport do you watch most other than football? Basketball.
Obviously, from the last 15 minutes, yeah, basketball.
Yeah. Right, we're now on to... Oh, wait, no, shit, I missed a section. We're going to go back to the teammates section. I missed this. Skipped over it. Right. Take as long as you want to reply, but I'll ask them as quick as you answer. Out of your teammates at yeah, we'll go CSU. I was going to say all time, but I was like, nah, we'll go CSU. Who is the longest in the shower?
There's
Say 'em.
a clear favorite.
Say him. Because I want Izzy on this afterwards as well. So say him. I want to see if he says the same.
I won't say.
I might get Izzy and BC together as well. So.
I'll let him say it. I'll let them say it.
So it's one of them. It's Izzy.
No.
Oh. Why wouldn't you say? You said they wouldn't get offended.
He won't, but I don't know.
He's not going to listen to this.
I mean,
And if he does, he'll laugh and he'll come up to him and be like, "What did you say that for?"
I'll let them say it. I know who it is in my mind, though.
Damn it.
I have it.
Who's the best dressed?
Ooh, best dressed. Obviously not me. As you see my jorts. I would say.
At least the actual jorts, not like cut off.
Oh, these are legit, like Goodwill, $2. Like,
I mean, they're better than cut off ones.
yeah, those are good.
The ones that cut them off, I'm like, nah, you just wanted jorts.
They're.
It's summer, so you wanted short jeans.
Let's see, best dressed.
There's no one. There's no one that pops out. Like no one who always shows up, like party, anything gathering when you see them, and just like, okay, yeah, they look like. Maybe not like smart, but best dressed. Like whose always outfit is like on point. I hate saying that as well.
I think when he tries, it would be Anthony Hawkins. Like when he tries. But some days he'll just
he just
be
doesn't
like,
care because he's a football player. So he's
sweats
just
in a sweatshirt, but like if he's going out or something, like when he tries, I think he's the best dressed.
Who's the best dancer?
Let's see. On the team?
Yeah. Not just out of people you know.
Either, let's see, it would be Hawks up there for sure. Malcolm McGee's pretty good. He came in, he's pretty good. Probably one of those two.
Okay. Who's thinks they can sing?
Okay. Dalen Dawkins. He doesn't sing anymore, but that guy thought he could sing, and
I'll allow people you've played with at CSU. Anyone you've played with at CSU.
I would sit next to him on the plane, and he would just listen to R&B.
I just sing on
slow
his,
jams,
out loud with headphones on as well, so he can't hear.
Noise canceling.
Oh.
I don't think he realized how loud he was, and I was like, he's really singing
big up
right
him.
now.
He's still with the Titans, right?
Yeah, yes, he's with the Titans, but he's not.
You were great for us, but
you know, he thought he could sing pretty well, and he wasn't the best.
Who wouldn't you start a fight with?
Oh, Adam Prentice.
That's the good news.
Oh, he would. That'd be awful. He's or Josh Griffin. Adam's scary because he was like state champ wrestler guy. He's like 240 with an 8-pack. Like, I don't want any part of that. But Josh Griffin was like special ops military. So like, Adam would like nicely like, you know, calm
See,
me
just
down,
from
but-
stories I've heard from different things, I was expecting Josh Watson to be up there. Or actually, no, who was his name? Guy who left like 2 years ago. He was a safety or something. I've forgotten his name. But there was one.
Danuska.
No, not Danuska. Small African American guy who I can't remember his name. But they were like, don't mess with him because he actually grew up in Compton. And I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't mess with him just because of that. I might beat you, but I'm losing the rest of the fight.
The special ops dude, like, they were messing around wrestling a couple guys one day, and he pinned them so many different ways.
Just different submissions.
I think Adam would definitely like put me in my place, but I think that guy might kill me if he wanted to.
Fair enough. Okay, where are we? Okay, last one. Who will do anything, no questions asked?
Like for me or just in general?
We'll go general. I'm thinking like if you literally like, stood on the practice field, like stood on a cliff, like you just asked them to do anything, who would just not say no? Just because either they thought it was funny or they thought, they're like, yeah, right, why not try this? Or like, thank you.
Let's see.
Because originally in my head I was like, who wouldn't do anything questions asked like on the football field? But I was like, that's probably a lot of people. So we're going to narrow it down. So like, who would just do anything? Like, who's up for trying anything once?
Probably Fulton. Brendan Fulton. He would pretty much do anything.
All right. There's been some unexpected answers.
Yeah.
In those.
I'm trying to think.
I stole this section as well from like an old soccer like show in England, and they got like football players on and just asked about their teammates. Like, so it was literally like, who's the longest in the shower, who's the best dressed, who's the best dancer. I was like, I'm stealing this. If I'm getting multiple people on,
Well, you sided them, so you're fine.
yeah. All right, we're now on to quickfire questions. Take as long as you want to answer, but answer immediately. But you can explain if you need to explain your answer.
Okay.
I messed that up. What was the most ridiculous thing you spend or waste money on?
I didn't answer fast. The most ridiculous. Oh, I'm not.
You don't waste money on anything stupid?
I really don't. I'm pretty protective. McDonald's. I love McDonald's.
Some people that said fast food. I was gonna say nothing with Aaliyah. Like you don't.
McDonald's, but like I spend an insane amount of money when I go, and it's stupid.
What is your favorite TV show at the moment? And now it's back. I feel like I know the answer.
What are you talking about?
I was gonna say Game of Thrones. No, it's not.
Never seen it ever. Never seen an episode
Okay.
of Game of Thrones.
What's your favorite TV show ever then? Oh no, not favorite
Ever?
TV show at the moment. Sorry.
Oh, at the moment, I just finished How to Get Away with Murder. That was my favorite show.
Okay.
It's pretty good. My favorite show ever though is The Office. 100%.
What is your biggest letdown of last year?
The number of losses.
Yeah, I knew that was coming with you.
That was a good.
How many books did you read last year?
0.
Yep, knew that was coming as well. What would your talent be in a pageant?
Ooh, in a pageant? Maybe whistle with my tongue. I can do that.
Like when you bend over backwards? Oh, like that? Oh, okay.
like roll up.
No one can see that. He rolled it. He stuck his tongue out.
Yeah, it is a podcast, not video. I don't know, that was just a quick fire one. I don't have many talents.
I mean, that's what you thought of. What would be your karaoke song?
Ooh, great question. What would be my karaoke song? Probably like Whitney Houston, something crazy like that.
Really?
Like, I will always
You just
love
go
you.
for one that you can't sing and
go
just
for
belt it?
I'm not good anyways. I might as well go for it. Possibly High School Musical.
Oh, okay, I'll accept that.
Something like that. You know, I could go either
I'd
way.
accept you with High School Musical. I can see.
I
Like,
used
get
to
your
have,
head in
like,
the game. Troy Bolton.
like,
Yeah, that's what I was
haircut.
thinking.
Maybe give me like a Wildcats jersey, a little prop.
Give you the basketball, you would sing that out in an instant.
Absolutely.
I'm now picturing you and Izzy next to each other, and him being Corbin Blair, like
there you
sing.
go. Yeah, absolutely.
I now want to see that. I wish that would happen. And then final question: how did we meet?
How do we meet? We met.
Did we meet? We met before class.
We met before class, but I don't know if it was like official. But then we sat next to each other in class and met officially, and then since then we've been friends.
Yeah, I was like, actually, I was trying to think about this. I was like, how did we meet?
I don't remember.
I would say I've known
knew
who you are since you were here as a freshman.
Yeah, like
'cause
I knew
watched
you
play.
before that class, but then we like officially like kind of
No, because it wouldn't have been a football party. Because the only Nick Stevens is where his merry friend at a football party. We stood at the door and made fun of people falling over on ice outside.
I think maybe it was in the training room or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. It was something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, this is the end of the podcast. As always, if you enjoyed it, please share it with everyone. If you'd like to come on or think you know someone has a good story, let me know.